Welcome back my dear students. After reading the 10th paragraph, what did you conclude? What conclusion did you come? Scientists are the practical or the most impractical persons? Tell me. Yes. Yes. Are they practical persons or they are far from practical life or real life? What is your understanding? Tell me. There are there are very few examples depicting their foolish acts, isn't it? And that foolishness is also because of their immersion in their work, because of their immersion in their discovery or experiments, anything. They are completely absorbed, and because of that itself they have become the scientists. And there are many examples to prove that they are the most practical persons. Shall we proceed forward? Yes. All of you open your textbooks and look at the paragraph number 11. It is commonly recognized that the very survival of our civilization is threatened by the natural and man-made disasters. Among them are earthquakes, self-inflicted destruction of megacities, environmental catastrophes, economic and social crisis. Today, a massive release of radioactivity from a nuclear waste disposal, an earthquake in the middle of a megapolis, an outburst of mass violence or any other global disaster can cause up to millions of casualties, render large part of our world uninhabitable and trigger global economic depression or a war in a hot region. Such dangers keep growing, although trillions of dollars are spent to contain them by all known techniques. In this paragraph, you are completely informed. You are told about the natural disasters and some of the man-made disasters. Yes, we will look at it once again. It is commonly recognized that the very survival of our civilization is threatened. Today, the very survival of human beings is in threat. It is threatened. How? Threatened by natural hazards or natural disasters and also some of the man-made disasters. What are the natural disasters? Tell me, do you know any example for natural disasters? Natural disasters are also called as natural calamities. What are those? Can you give me some example? Yes, very good, very good. Earthquake. Then volcanic eruption. Yes, flood. Yes, then landslides, very good. These are the examples for natural disasters. They are very dangerous for our living, isn't it? These are the natural disasters. Is it only natural disasters that take our life? Is it only the danger that we are facing? No. More than this, we are facing danger because of our own acts. Self-inflicted means we only are the responsible persons. We are only responsible for these kind of disasters, and that is called man-made disasters. Among them are, yes, some of the natural and man-made disasters. Some of the examples are given here, and you have to identify which is natural disaster and which are man-made disasters. Earthquakes, what are these? Yes, natural disasters. Self-inflicted destruction of megacities. Yes, man-made. Environmental catastrophes, both natural and man-made. Economic and social crisis, yes, again man-made. Today, a massive release of radioactivity from a nuclear waste disposal, see, because of the man-made activity, that is, see, a massive release of radioactivity from a nuclear waste disposal, an earthquake in the middle of a megapolis. What is megapolis? Have you heard of the city states polis? Polis, polis is a word used to say a big city, used to name a big city. Polis means a very developed city, megapolis. An outburst of mass violence, an outburst of mass violence. What is this? An outburst of mass violence means, what is it? People fighting each other, behaving violently, killing each other. Can you give me any example for this mass outburst of violence? Yes, the great wars, world wars, World War I and World War II. Other than this, there were so many violent behaviors, violent attitudes of men are shown in the history, and even today there are few people who follow this violent attitudes. An outburst of mass violence or any other global disasters, can cause up to a millions of casualties. It may be natural or man-made. Finally, what is the result? Yes, nothing but millions of casualties. Casualties means deaths, millions of casualties, deaths and injuries. Millions of casualties render large part of our world uninhabitable. These acts of disaster, man-made as well as natural disasters, had made large part of our world which is not fit for human habitation, that is uninhabitable. Inhabitable means where you can live, where human beings can live, but these disasters have made larger part of the world which are not fit, which does not remain fit to habitation, which are not fit for habitation, and trigger global economic depression. Trigger means give rise to, trigger global economic depression. See, these natural disasters first of all cause a lot of casualties, cause millions of casualties, and they also make a large part of the world uninhabitable. Along with this, they also generate economic problems, economic crisis. What are economic problems? A lack of food, people getting no jobs. No jobs means they have no money. They have no money means they will be poor, they do not get sufficient to eat. So, these are the results of these calamities or these disasters. Or a war in a hot region, war in a hot region. Why? War in a hot region means because of global warming. Most of the areas in the world are turning hotter and hotter. So, this increasing temperature or global warming is also a challenge for the human living, and such dangers keep growing. They all are growing, it goes on increasing. These dangers keep growing, although trillions of dollars are spent to contain them by all known techniques. Whatever techniques we use, by spending some millions and trillions, we are not successful. We are not successful in combating these problems, solving or coming out of these problems. So, such dangers keep growing, they are going on increasing. These dangers keep growing, although trillions of dollars are spent to contain them by all known techniques. The hope and responsibility of breaking the stalemate rest not only on money, but on intellectual resources. Is it enough if you spend money? Can you buy everything just using your money? No, that is not sufficient. See, the hope and responsibility for breaking the stalemate. What is breaking the stalemate? What is stalemate? What is stalemate? Tell me. Stalemate is a situation, it is a situation which makes us impossible to take any decisions, or to act. Situation which makes us it impossible to take any decision. Here, the hope and the responsibility for breaking the stalemate rest not only on the money. In the earlier paragraph, we have seen that millions and trillions of dollars are spent. But is it enough if we have only money? So, here it is not enough. See, does not rest not only on the money, but on the intellectual resources. What is intellectual resource? That is the intelligence or the expert knowledge of the scientists. Intellectual resource means knowledge of the science and scientists. Though the money is more popular, according to the French proverb, nobody is satisfied with his wealth, everybody is satisfied with his wisdom. Only the basic research can create a springboard for developing new disaster preparedness industry. So, here let us see once again, as I already told you, the hope and responsibility of breaking the stalemate. Hope and responsibility of breaking the stalemate means bringing an end to this type of situation. So, what type of situation? Situations which makes us impossible to take any decision. It has to be broken, it has to be ended. Such situations have to be ended. So, for that we cannot rely only on money, so but on intellectual resources. Even it is the responsibility of intellectual resources also. Though the money is more popular, why is it called as more popular? Because people are not satisfied. People want more and more money, but whatever amount of money, even if they collect, they are not happy, they are not satisfied with that. Still they want to increase, still they want to add some more, isn't it? They want some more of money. So, it is said, though the money is more popular, according to the French proverb, nobody is satisfied with his wealth, everybody is satisfied with his wisdom. Only the basic research can create a springboard for developing new disaster preparedness industry. Though money is very popular, to say you that money is very popular, our author Kellis Barak has used a statement, that is, nobody is satisfied with his wealth, everybody is satisfied with his knowledge. This sentence says how popular that money is, but money cannot do anything. Then what else? That is, only the basic research can create a springboard, can create a start, can create a beginning stage, can support So, not money, though it is very popular, however popular money is, money cannot do anything, but only the basic research can create a springboard. Springboard means start for the developing new disaster preparedness industries. What is disaster preparedness? In the beginning of the class, in the paragraph number 11, we have listed many disasters, man-made as well as natural disasters, isn't it? And we have to prepare ourselves to face these disasters and survive. We have to survive facing these disasters. So, to face these disasters successfully and survive ourselves, to save ourselves, we have to develop preparedness. We have to prepare ourselves, equip ourselves, we have to develop preparedness. So, such industry, preparedness industry can be started only by the basic research. Money cannot start this. However popular money is, it cannot do anything. Only the basic research can create a springboard for developing a new disaster preparedness industry. Ours is the time of contest over issues not completely understood, and this is the present time. Ours is the time of contest. What is contest? Competition, race. Ours is the time of contest over issues, matters, over issues not completely understood. There are so many things in this world which we do not know completely. We have to understand it still. We have to still know so many things. So, now our life is a contest over the issues which we have not understood completely. Ours is the time of contest over issues not completely understood. Do you know who says this? That is McGeorge Bundy. He is another American advisor for the presidents. Do you remember any other advisors? Any other scientist who advised the presidents of America? Yes, that is Frank Press, isn't it? A famous geophysicist like Callis Barak. A famous geophysicist was one of the advisors for the American presidents, and here one more advisor, that is McGeorge Bundy, says ours is the time of contest over issues not completely understood. Scientific research is an exciting venture into the great unknown and the token of humankind's survival. It is the scientists with their tools that are up to the challenge and can ensure that we all safely move with the time. Say once again, let me read it for you. Scientific research is an exciting venture. What is venture? What is venture? Tell me. Venture is what is venture? It is a new activity which involves a lot of risk, a risky activity. So, scientific research is an exciting venture. It is a very risky activity. Venture where? Into the great unknown and the token of humankind's survival. So, it is an exciting venture into the many unknown things of nature and great unknown and the token of humankind's survival. It is the scientists with their tools. It is the scientists with their tools that are up to the challenge. What is their tool? Knowledge. Knowledge is their tool, expertise, intelligence. It is the scientists with their tools are up to the challenge, they are ready to face the challenge, are up to the challenge and can ensure, can assure us, can make us ready. They can ensure that we all safely move with the time. They help us to move safely with the time. Finally, I have to remind you, finally our author Calicberg would like to remind something for all of us, for all the readers. Finally, I have to remind you that science is not the beginning and not the end either. However, if humanly used, science is their indispensable guardian and caretaker. See how beautifully he explains. See, he says he would like to remind us that science is not the beginning. It is not the beginning. It is neither the beginning nor the end of something. It is a continuous, he says it is continuous. There is no beginning or no end for science. Science never begins or it never ends. It is not the beginning and not the end either. However, if humanly used, what is humanly used? If it is used carefully for the fruitful things, for good things, if it is humanly used, if it is carefully used, science is their indispensable guardian. Science is really a guardian and caretaker. When does it become our guardian? Only if we use it very carefully. So, therefore, finally, the writer would like to say, would like to remind us that we have to be very careful while using science, and we have to use science only for the purpose of development of humankind, and we should never misuse science for destructive purpose. If it is used for the good purpose, it can be our guardian as well as caretaker. That is why the title Science and the Hope of Survival. Thank you very much.